Less lethal guns have been on the circuit for quite some time now, and we kind of understand why. Look, no one loves the smell of gunpowder in the morning more than we do, but we can totally see why so many people are opting for the less lethal guns as opposed to the real thing. First, there's the obvious hassle of licenses and safes that you need to get. Then the safety of your kids is another factor. And some of us genuinely don't enjoy the idea of causing someone else's death, even if they were hoping to kill us first. It's not a pleasant reality, taking another man's life. And then there's the legal red tape. Even if it were completely in self-defense, well, the legal system hasn't exactly been on the side of gun owners, even those clearly acting only in self-defense. And quite frankly, not every situation requires lethal force to deal with it, no matter the reason you have for wanting a less lethal weapon. Let's look at the options you do have at your disposal. Here's a list of all the weapons that look exactly like the real thing, load and fire like legit guns do, and can hurt, break skin, and shatter bones, all without killing the guy at the receiving end. Let's get into it. Airgun pistol. Of the pistols in the airgun range, we really like the H&N Hornet. We're about to get pretty elaborate soon, and don't get us wrong, airguns have some pretty realistic looking rifles, shotguns, and high-powered firearms to choose from. But sometimes you just need a standard pistol that looks like the real deal and does exactly what the others do anyway, without all the insane attachments and scopes and whatnot. The Hornet has great balance and better aim than the rifles do. Besides looking like a proper pistol, it also feels like the real deal in your hand too. There's a lot of value in a unit feeling right in your palm. If you're going for the ability to instill fear in an attacker, it needs to look and feel the part if you're going to sell it. And when those little missiles hit, it will break the skin. Maybe not enough to rupture an organ, but man does it hurt a hell of a lot more than you would have thought possible. Airgun rifle. Airguns come in rifles too. We told you it was going to get elaborate. The AEA Terminator is so realistic looking and outrageous that it borders on insanity. And we love everything about this monstrosity of an airgun. It's listed as the world's most powerful semi-automatic airgun. It holds 12 rounds that shoot a whopping 870 feet per second, and it'll only cost you $600. Honestly, we expected this thing to go for $1,000 easy. The whole point was to make an air rifle that could shoot as fast and as far as possible while looking like the biggest, baddest military-style rifle out there. It will comfortably shoot that little round through 5-gallon jugs of water. That's more than the Kinetic ball guns can do. It delivers optimal pain for the optimal amount of fun. Pepperball guns. When it comes to pepperball guns, there are two flavors here to consider. Depending on what kind of brand you want to buy, you have a choice between the solid rubber balls and the OC powder balls. The difference between the two is that the solid rubber is the same balls that they shoot in the out-of-control riots. And anyone who's ever hit by one will tell you those things will break bones, cause concussions, and there have even been a surprising number of deaths recorded from their use. A hit to a weakened liver will rupture the organ, and a shot to the head can easily crack a skull. The OC powder balls, on the other hand, are filled with capsicum powder. So in other words, it's a fireable pepper spray gun. The ball will hit the target and explode into a fine powder that'll render the attacker blind. It still hits pretty hard though. The ball itself will leave a sizable bruise. Both work with CO2 cartridges, and the technology isn't that much different from a regular paintball gun. And just so you know, most OC and rubber bullets are interchangeable with paintball guns anyway. Paintball guns just don't quite shoot as hard, but if you've ever been hit by one, you'll know full well that they leave you looking like a blue and purple Jackson Pollock painting. So there's always the option of using that paintball gun that's been gathering dust in your closet for the past decade. OC powder guns. Starting with the OC powder guns, Byrna has the widest variety of non-lethal guns on the market, from rifles to handgun-size models and everything in between. They have a rifle modeled after the AR-15 called the Mission 4 that can hold 60 rounds and fire at a distance of nearly 200 feet. If that's a little too elaborate for you, go for the SD launcher, also known as the Ungun. It's Byrna's best seller, and for good reason. It shoots at 340 feet per second. Though we would advise the newer models, just because they have a better and smoother trigger mechanism than the models that came out a year before. The great thing about either powder gun is that you don't have to be dead accurate with a rifle or pistol to make the shot count. Once that projectile connects, it'll disperse so widely that even if you hit the wall behind the intruder, he'll still be engulfed in that stinging, blinding cloud of agony. Rubber and kinetic ball pistol. For the rubber or kinetic ball guns that have solid projectiles, we really like the Grimberg Galv. It's currently the most powerful non-lethal pistol in production. It takes 5 rounds at a time, and trust us, if you aim well, you'll only need one of those rounds to get a man down to his knees. There's a lot to like about this unit, so let's get into those before we get into the cons. The standard model prices around $500, which is actually pretty decent for the amount of power that this thing has. It'll shoot over 300 feet per second, just a fraction more power, and it won't fit into the non-lethal weapons range anymore. You literally can't get any faster, stronger, or more deadly without getting a real gun. If you're willing to pay extra, you can get a laser, optic, flashlight, and holster with it, so it's got a bunch of cool gadgets to go with it. If you're going to get a Grimberg, get it in black and gray. The other brighter colors make it look like a child's toy. But the black strapped to your belt looks just like a sidearm from a distance. And that brings us to our first and only con, the size. But then again, if you're going to fit as much muscle into a pistol-sized pepper gun, we aren't surprised that it came out a little bigger than a standard Glock. But we're willing to take that slightly bigger size in exchange for the colossal amount of force you'll get from this thing. Rubber/kinetic ball rifle. For the more elaborate rubber or kinetic rifles, there's always the TCR Tactical Combat Rifle by Byrna. This isn't going to be the last time we mention Byrna on this channel, and that's because their products are just too good to ignore. They specialize in non-lethal firearms, and they're damn good at what they do. And the TCR is a fantastic example of that good engineering. It carries more rounds, has more attachments, and it's pretty accurate and as close to lethal as our top pistol is. The Grimberg is better for self-defense because it's easier to handle without all of those extra whistles and cogs to complicate things in an emergent situation. But that doesn't mean you have to overlook the TCR rifle, because what's life without a little fun anyways? There is one downside to the rifle. They eat CO2 cartridges for breakfast. So keep plenty of spares on you. You're probably going to need a few refills. The great thing about all of our picks is that you don't need a license for any of them. Whether you need it for self-defense, just to tickle your trigger-happy bone, or maybe a bit of both, well, there's plenty to choose from, and the options certainly don't end with our list. You don't have to go for absolute mortality to defend yourself and your home, and just because it's called a less lethal weapon doesn't mean it can't kill you. We weren't kidding when we said that kinetic balls have a few recorded deaths on record. And do you really think that a guy breaking into your house is going anywhere with a few broken ribs and a concussion? We highly doubt that. You don't need to spend thousands of dollars, and you definitely don't need an AK-47 to do the job for you. All you need is something that causes the most pain possible for the least amount of paperwork, and you can absolutely defend yourself properly. Until next time, this is Threat to Survival. Prepare today, thrive tomorrow. Embrace the threat to survival.